All right, AL, so we know Ben's not here. He's warming up for his doubles match with Matt, but can you talk about how you went 11-1, 11-1, and then 11-2 in this match? Were you expecting the scoring? Were you expecting this outcome with the scoring?
I was personally upset with the 11-2 in the third game. No, I'm just kidding. I think we just went into it wanting to be aggressive and just kind of, prove something, go out there, play our game. I think Ben came in with a mission, just started off the match super hot. I wasn't expecting the score, but I think you kind of have to go into it not expecting to do that, because then you put a little too much pressure on yourself if you're like, let's win 11-1, 11-1, 11-2. So it just kind of happened that way. We were both feeling really good, and the conditions played in our favor, and we were both hitting our shots.
Yeah, it's been so hot recently, and we just had some recent cloud coverage. I mean, how good does it feel to just have a little bit of cool air instead of just the beating sun and humidity?
Yeah, it feels really good, but I honestly don't love playing in the cold. I have a really poppy paddle. I think people know that. It's kind of like, in the heat, I like it a little bit more because I can put a little bit more, spin and kind of carve it a little bit more. But also, it depends how I'm feeling. So if I wake up in the morning and I'm feeling really good and it's cold, I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. But like if I'm kind of like, oh, I'm a little nervous, I hit the ball really, I'm just like, I love swinging at the ball. And today I was just feeling really good, and I think Ben was too. So we just went out there and started, hitting the ball.
Yeah, and Jesse and Riley they're not an easy team to beat. So going into this, knowing that they're going to be offensive and defensive, I mean, what was the discussion, if at all, going into the match?
I think we just came in with a lot of confidence. Like, we've played Riley before, we played Jesse before, we've played them both before this year. So we kind of just came in, knowing if we stuck to our game plan, things would go our way. So, and I think we have a solid game plan against both of them. So it just kind of worked out that way.
And you were dominating on the court so much during those firefights. So how nice is it having a partner that puts full trust in you during those points?
Yeah, I think Ben laughs during some points. Like, I can hear him behind me, just he's kind of watching, enjoying it. And I do the same thing when he's in the firefights. I'm like, oh yeah, that's my partner. I'm like, I'm just gonna stay here for a sec. But I think that's what makes us good, is that I can kind of take over and speed up the ball a little bit, which is something you usually don't see in women's doubles. More of like a dinky kind of role the girl usually plays, but I'm more of an aggressive player, so I bring that into my mixed doubles, and I think that's kind of what separates me and Ben from some different teams.
Yeah, he was like 10 feet behind you. He's like, oh, she's got this. You're
fine.
Well,
I'm too, he loves the left side, so I'm like, he better not be on the left. I'm like, I'm coming over, Ben. I'm like, I'm not over there, so you better be over there. But yeah, no, there was one point where I kind of went over and he got a forehand and he sped it up. I was like, you committed to the right side part. Sometimes he doesn't commit to it and tries to go back to the left, but I was like, you committed this time.
And how good did that make you feel that he just, fully embraced the right side?
It made me feel great. I was like, Ben, you could be a dominant right side player. I'm telling you.
Are we ever going to see you guys, strictly on the left?
I mean, we did that in Takea in California. It was our second round match, and I played the left an entire game. So maybe you'll start to see it, but I don't think so. We're too locked on the one side.
And I know Ben is going and playing with Matt right now, but you've done this as well, where you have a back-to-back. So how do you kind of have the stamina to play those back-to-backs so quickly?
Yeah, it's tough, especially since you played 3 days of tournament before and you're here, from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So it's kind of like a grind. And when you get here on Sunday, you have a lot of motivation, to kind of just push through it last day, kind of get it all done. The only thing that sucks is if it's a singles back-on-back, like if you have a doubles match and then singles right away. That sucks, and that's happened to me before. So luckily this is a doubles match for him, so I think he'll be fine, but definitely something you have to think about when you're training for pickleball. My trainer was like, yeah, I trained you for strength in the beginning, but now since you're making it to Sundays, I gotta start training you for more endurance because you just play so much.
Yeah. And last question I have is, what do you do with your time when you're not playing pickleball?
Oof. When I'm not playing pickleball, I'm resting. Binge watching TV shows. I love going to the beach, but I also love doing stuff that's active. So I do love shopping too. I have a little bit of a shopping addiction. I got that from my mom though. We do that together. It's something we do together. But yeah, I love being active, doing other sports, soccer, tennis, type thing. Playing board games at the house. I don't know, hanging out with friends. There's a lot of things that I love to do. One of my favorite hobbies though is cooking. I spend a lot of my day doing that. I love cooking and baking, so I do a lot of that.
I've seen your Instagram stories. So what's your favorite thing to cook?
So there's two things that I'm kind of known for. My pancakes, you've never had better pancakes. They're so thick. Yeah, they're good, right? He's had them. So I make really good pancakes, and my mac and cheese is amazing. Two foods that you probably shouldn't eat that often, but I love making them. So I guess on my time off from pickleball, if I've come off for tournament, I'll make some pancakes and mac and cheese.
And who taught you how to cook, or is it all self-taught? YouTube?
It's a little bit of both. So when I grew up, it was in North Carolina, and my grandmother was a southern, like that southern cooks, like fried chicken, like all that stuff. So she kind of taught me how to cook, like growing up, because I was around her all the time when I lived there. And we kind of bonded over that. And she used to say, "We're gonna make this from scratch." And at the time, I thought it was an ingredient. And now that I'm older, like I think I was like 8 when I realized. I was like, "You've lied to me all these years." So then when I moved to Florida, I kind of taught myself a little bit more, kind of branched out from like what she had taught me. But it started there in North Carolina. So just kind of gone from there, and I love trying new recipes and stuff.
Should we expect a new show, Cooking with AL?
Yes, I want to do some more detail, like an actual, like right now I've kind of just done little like things, like quick, easy things, but I want to go into like a detailed recipe and then post it. So it's coming.
I think people would love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, thanks, AL.